Hello and welcome, air signs, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini. This is your eclipse reading, so from the 8th to the 14th of April 2024. And so if your sun, moon or ascendant is in any of those signs, Libra, Aquarius or Gemini, then this reading may apply to you, or parts of it may apply. So it may be relevant for you at this time. So we're going to be looking at some current energies, some external influences, as well as some internal energies that you might be experiencing. And then we're going to look at some higher frequency guidance as well that you might want to tap into at this time. I'm just going to cut the deck here. And, as always, please take what resonates and discard the rest. And also just calling in archangels, ascended masters, any other light beings and any other spirit guides that would like to be with us at this time for this reading, to help us with these energies as well that are coming down to us. Okay, let's just cut these here. So, wow, King of Swords. Okay, 8 of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay. And that is Gemini, your card right there. And this is also the King of Swords. This is a Libra card as well. There's a power card there for you. Power card for Gemini. Judgment, the Hanged Man, and the 9 of Swords. So we've been having a fair bit of major arcana coming through in these readings today. I'm doing all the elemental readings today, so we will have a look at these. Right, let's just pop that here. And right, so we have the hard work in the middle here, and yeah, so this is so Gemini being the mutable sign, mutable air sign, which often is kind of associated with change and and looking at two sides of things, making decisions and things like that. This is also obviously about masculine and feminine and the higher self here. And here we have the King of Swords. So he's all about truth, justice, honesty, and also authenticity in communication. And we have the hard work in the middle here. So that is to do with, excuse me, I've actually moved that. And so this is the work, or the refining, or becoming more adept at whatever it is you're looking to improve upon or hone. So in terms of externals, this can certainly be about about general energies that are sort of external in the air around you. So it might be that you're in a phase of having to work at something. Perhaps you're studying, or you're really applying yourself on your occupation, or it could be that you are working on building a family or a relationship, so there's that kind of thing going on. Or it might be that you are a part of a group or an organisation that is looking to build up or create something in your community. And here we have the Knight of Swords, who is that we had the Emperor in a previous reading. We had some swords, Ace of Swords too. So the swords are about truth and authenticity. So this is about, perhaps around you, you are perceiving that, this could be a goal actually of yours, that you're wanting to step into your personal truth and to, wield your metaphorical sword of honesty, authenticity, and to be able to exercise your intellect and to communicate to what it is that you're looking to bring into the world. And it may even be that you are that this could also represent a person or an organisation that you that stands for a principle or a truth, or it could represent someone at work who is sort of fairly stern or strict, or is very kind of logical. Yeah, sometimes the King of Swords can be very very intellectual, very logical, very sort of sticking by the rules, and very much intellect, very much in the head, perhaps a little out of touch with emotions, this card. So it may feel that perhaps around you you are perceiving energies or groups or people that seem to be motivated more by logic and reason than they are by for the sake of that alone, and sort of leaving out the emotional aspect of life, which is, this is the masculine feminine here, so this is bringing it into balance on this side. So you might see that there's these different energies around. On the one hand, you might be witnessing, or this may be choices about things you're looking to be involved in, and it's like, well, do I go down the road of creating masculine feminine balancing through what I do, or do I just work hard here, or do I need to just really apply my intellect and my mind and just basically push the emotions to the back so I can get something done? I guess that's describing internal states more than external, but it might also be that you're witnessing a community or a group here who have a truth or a goal in mind that they're working towards, but they're working in harmony. And this is the an image or a symbol of the goal that they're working towards. And take what resonates. If you have other meanings for these cards that come up for you, then please, by all means, take note of that, of course. This could also be, because sometimes these external influences are things that we hold within, but they have come from outside initially. So we could have even been conditioned into believing that, we need to, it's quite, it's fine to work at something and build something up. And you get out what you put in, basically. And and this is kind of that thing about perhaps you're being conditioned to kind of ignore emotions. So we're going to look at the internal in a minute, and we'll see what comes up there. Let's have a look. Right. Yeah, we do have the King of Swords first. Okay, so we have, internally, directly under the King of Swords, we have the Temperance. Judgment, which is about awakening. It's about, this is certainly what the Eclipse energies is. Eclipse is going to move people into, at least the beginnings of their awakening, quite possibly. And here we have, a symbol of, enlightenment or holistic kind of attention to yourself. This is reflecting internally what's going on for you. And here we have the Nine of Swords. So this can be kind of sleeplessness. It can just mean that you have a lot of things on your mind that you just need to sort through. Okay, it might not mean necessarily, there's a whole spectrum of intensity of this card. So it could mean that you are kind of a bit concerned about something, or it might mean that you are in like a lot of despair and angst and a lot of sleeplessness about things or about something in particular. It depends what resonates, of course, so under the, so these cards are almost like the reaction to the external influences. So this, if you've been conditioned, or you have someone around you that's kind of closing off the emotions, and you're feeling that you have a lot of emotion and that you want to express it, it could be that you're feeling this kind of angst, like you don't feel like you can be yourself around that person. Okay. Another thing that might be happening here is, if you're working really hard on something. You may have been working for a long time, and perhaps you're not getting the it's not fulfilling you as much as you thought it would, and so maybe you're just contemplating here, look, where do I want to go next, and you know, do I want to keep working on this or not? You know, it might mean that you've just got to, you know, get the last couple of pentacles done and it'll be all good. So it could be a call for patience, which is what this card can also represent, a call for patience to just keep going. The other one here is the Judgment. So this is the Awakening, and I believe that's probably a response to this card here, which is that's your feminine and masculine aspect, or it could be that you are you know, moving into a relationship, or you're coming into a phase in life where you are more available to be in a relationship, but it's going to be a new type of relationship from what you've experienced before, quite possibly, and you're going to be awakening into, this is almost like the higher self here, and yeah, sort of coming out of the darkness of perhaps some dysfunctional conditioning that you've been experiencing, and just really stepping into more wholeness. So acknowledging your own masculine and feminine aspects, and then moving into perhaps a connection with a group or with another person, individual, who also has a great balance of those masculine and feminine qualities. And so the quality overall of your relationships in that way is going to be more clear, and you're going to have more mental clarity as a result of that. So really, you know, this is probably, I mean, while this is under the Lovers card here, it might be that, you know, your relationship is causing you some worry, that it might just mean that, you know, you need to just do your own holistic self-care here. Just keep working on yourself, and you know, and you will experience your own awakening. Now, you don't have to have someone else by your side. You don't have to hold someone else's hand as you go through awakening. There are people in couples and families in that there might be one person going through an awakening, okay? But the thing is, the more people wake up to the truth of their soul, and that they are light beings, and that they have a spiritual aspect, that does then help others over time. But it may be that internally, if you are experiencing an awakening, okay, and perhaps there's someone else here that's a bit further back on in terms of evolution, in terms of awakening, because this is someone that's just very much in intellect and head, and has no kind of, perhaps may not even be acknowledging the spiritual aspect, may not be acknowledging their own emotional aspect, and perhaps has trouble receiving, you know, receiving anything, you know, from spirit, from others, not very open emotionally. Maybe this is causing you that, but once again, it's a case of, you know, internally just really contemplating holistically, looking after your mind, body and spirit here, and yeah, just having some faith. This is a beautiful reading as well, really. We have some, you know, major arcana here. We've had major arcana in every reading during this eclipse. I'm going to clarify with this beautiful little Wandering Star Tarot, which I've just found in my cupboard. I haven't used it for a while, but let's clarify and get some more clarification. Yeah, the King of Swords. I mean, take what resonates, of course. You realise too, also, that when you see these cards, there's two angels in this reading. It's very high frequency, angelic, higher self, soul, spiritual reading. We have this, you know, here, which can be your own higher self, and here is the almost like maybe a source or an archangel, or your own higher self awakening, helping to influx the energies to awaken you, and this is what the solar eclipse is helping us with. This eclipse energy is helping us to awaken. We are getting upgrades and downloads, and the High Priestess has just flipped out right here, and I'm just going to have to, that was just going to have to go with the King of Swords, because that was one I wanted to clarify. So the High Priestess is, of course, that introspective card. And the interesting thing here is that this is a wisdom card. Now, the King is generally quite wise, but the High Priestess brings in that divine feminine wisdom. Okay, this is like masculine wisdom, more earthly, not necessarily divine, but of course in acting in alignment with the truth and honesty of the kingdom and of the authenticity, integrity of the king. Okay. So there's actually some words around here, and I'm just going to quickly read those. It says secrets, dreams, wisdom, inner voice, spirit world. Okay, so that's about your own inner voice. Usually kings are responding to external needs around them. So it could mean that this is a balancing card. So during an eclipse time, it's interesting too, isn't it, that we have the darkness here, and then we have, it's almost like a solar disk. This almost looks like she's standing in the middle of an eclipse. Yeah, it's really like if you feel that you're in this energy, or that you are influenced a lot by this energy, and it's starting to feel a little uncomfortable, it's starting to kind of go, I'm not quite sure about this type of energy, then really kind of start to activate that divine feminine, and really look into some spiritual, some dream work. Look at your dreams as well. Let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles. Well, this is my third reading for today. Some people would probably do 10 readings in a day. I'm going to go for 4. Okay, we're going to clarify the Eight of Pentacles. I'm just going to pull one out of the middle here, which is going to be the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is a bit of a, so it's clarifying that this card is about just hanging in there for a bit longer. One of two things, or a bit of both. Either hang in there for a bit longer and get that done and you're going to feel fantastic. Or if you're not happily working here, really kind of take a look at that and try and get in touch with your emotions. But I think it's more erring on the side of you've got a little bit more to do, and you're going to be feeling it's going to be a whole new lease on, you're going to have a whole new lease on life, whatever it is that you are you're working on here. It looks like it's something you've already started, or it may be something you're about to start. Okay, particularly if it's, you know, going to be something spiritual, or to do with, you know, your soul purpose. It's going to give you fulfillment, meaning, harmony, peace and happiness. Let's read around the outside here. It says love, relationships, beginnings. Yeah, so it's, you know, general unconditional love. You know, whatever you love to do is, hopefully that's what's going to, you know, that feeling of fulfillment that comes from doing something and working in something that we love. It's basically what that is saying. Excuse me, I have my heater on here and I'm not going to run over there and press it off, switch it off, but I'm going to remove my microphone. Right, apologies. Right, let's get to the next reading. Sorry, the next card. We're going to clarify the Lovers card. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one out the middle here. The Lovers is clarified by the Eight of Cups. Okay, now the Eight of Cups is, yeah, traditionally, like the moving away from something. But this is looking like, it's really looking like generally a celebration. I'll just say change and shift. Okay, so yeah, so this could be that you are experiencing maybe some shifts and changes perhaps within your current relationship, or it could be your relationship with yourself you feel is shifting and changing, and that can certainly happen in this solar eclipse energy. Look at this solar back here, this like very strong solar kind of symbol there. So changes and shifts, and that's certainly a thing that's going to be happening in the solar eclipse. I mean, I can't, you know, can't stop talking about it really. I mean, the energies today have just been really gorgeous. Just going to sip of my tea, excuse me. Let's just clarify the Judgment card. That one jumped out, I wonder why. Okay, the World. The World. Now, thing about, I can use the word nudity, but the thing about that is that there's honesty with that, isn't there? It's like, well, this is it. Okay, there's no covering, there's no disguise, there's no attempt to cover over anything. So it's very much like clarity. And yeah, the world is also about, let's just read around here, completion, reward, success. Yeah, rewards and success and completion. And that's also kind of reiterating here. If you're working on something that is kind of, that you feel is really close to you, that it's going to make you happy, then you're going to be receiving that fulfillment at the end. But this is the awakening, so it's really going to awaken you into a feeling of mastery, or certainly the solar eclipse energies are going to start that process for you if it hasn't already started. But everyone's going through upgrades, so depending on where you're at, you're going to be upgraded from wherever you are into a new space. Even today, I'm experiencing a little bit more self-acceptance on things, being less doubtful about myself. Okay, so it may even be just small things like that you experience, little shifts like, oh yeah, I'm not putting myself down so much now, or but sometimes the awakening can bring things up into awareness, and then the next thing is that you go through a shift into the higher frequency of whatever that is. So yeah, and the snake here, it's a symbol of healing. Okay, so it's completion and healings, and we are all going through upgrades. Our light codes are, getting beautiful light codes coming down as well. Let's clarify the Hanged Man. I wasn't sure about using this tarot deck for clarification, but it's actually pretty good. I'm actually enjoying the images. Okay, let's just grab one out of the middle here. The Hangman is clarified by the Hermit. I love this card. Look how gorgeous that is. Now, the Hermit came up in a previous reading today as well. So definitely in these eclipse energies, of course, the Hermit is going within to contemplate, their own inner light. But once again, we have the Knight here and the Light. So this is another kind of indication of eclipse kinds of energies. And here we have we mentioned before, this holistic contemplation of self-care, mind, body, spirit. Okay, and that's certainly what the Hermit does as well, is to contemplate the soul. Oh, here we have, so healing, solitude, and inner work. Great time, eclipse time, great time to do that as well. Yeah, I mean, see, this one here is like people might be worried about the eclipse. So let's clarify that. It's the last card for clarification. And so if you're either, worried about perhaps relationships or a connection, or worried about some work, or you may even be sort of worried about this eclipse too, let's just have a look. Okay, so the Nine of Swords is clarified by the Chariot. Wow, that's gorgeous. So the Chariot is the card of Cancer. So it's a watery kind of card. It says here, journey, success, and progress. So this is very positive, this reading. Journey, success, and progress. So the interesting thing is that if you're in this state, like we've said before in a previous reading, often our wounds, or the things that we're hurting inside and that we're feeling inside, is really our own excuse me, our own soul giving us, putting up the little red flags to go, hey, you just need to hold space for this and just have a look at it and love it unconditionally, whatever it is. Okay, and then slowly, step by step, work through it, whether that means doing some journaling, whether that means talking with someone, getting some help, being receptive to assistance, actually asking for help if you need it, and slowly over time, that state will shift into one of feeling more success, going on a journey, sorry, is what I meant to say. You will feel like you are moving into a journey, and this is what This is why I believe the Hangman is positioned right next to this card here, because it's sort of like, well, if you're here, you know, just utilize that material, that all of that rich data, those rich feelings that you have, to really find out what your soul is about. Like, what is your soul trying to tell you? Because sometimes those deep-seated feelings are coming up from the soul, like from possibly past lives. It might be this current life, it might be past lives, it might even be galactic lives, because many of us hold wounds that are quite deep, and it might be that you need to start to look at some of that. But to consider your life in general as a journey. And, you know, with the hero's journey, there are, you know, there's always, you know, ups and downs. And generally there can be, you know, there might be a dark night of the soul period. And I mean, I don't know, it might be possible to have, you know, a couple of dark nights of the soul periods. I don't know how many you can have in your lifetime. It's, you know, it's probably entirely individual. But you might be, if you're feeling really like, you know, super low here, you know, just know that it's a phase, and that with time, and if you can listen inward and just sort of get some help wherever you need it, or tap into the right tools and strategies for yourself. Journaling's great, okay? Journaling and writing out your dreams is fantastic. I did a lot of that early in my life, and that really helped. And, you know, and then this moving here forward. So you might go from here, being overcome with emotion, into like a holding phase. And then slowly over time, you will, and obviously also directly above the Hangman card, we have the work. So this could be just the chipping away at on your inner work. But it can be a fantastic discovery to kind of wake up to, you know, to discover what your soul is moving you towards. And it might be, because the other great thing about, you know, this suffering is that it makes us stronger, and it really gives us depth and understanding and wisdom, because that's why we have those experiences. Because you imagine if everything was super rosy, you know, you just wouldn't have that, you wouldn't be able to have the same amount of compassion for other people that are having difficulties. Okay, so it's actually a spirit, in some ways it's a spiritual gift to move through suffering, because you understand it, and you can have then your powers for transformation and your powers to then assist others to transform are so much more considerable and more substantial. Okay, so let's just look at this again: journey, success, and progress. So, you know, this is about you embarking on that journey, making some progress through your chipping away at things. And you know, like, thank you so much for that reading, Spirit. That's those cards coming up, because I really enjoyed that. Now I have a little treat, because I'm going to get spirit animal cards. I collect there and read, and this is our high frequency guidance. So I'm going to get some, because I find these images really high vibe. So, and our air signs, you know, it's interesting. We have the King of Swords, which is air of air. Can be very much like super, like lots of ideas, but maybe sometimes we need a little help, but we need some focus to kind of bring that down into tangible, into actionable things that we can do, or into creativity, whatever it is that we're going to do. But we've had a lot of you know, success and completion and all that type of thing. So this is a very positive reading once again for this eclipse for the air signs. Right, let's just cut this deck now, and I'm just going to pull a couple off the top. I'm going to cut much off these cards. They're so gorgeous. Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. That is so awesome. Which card do we have about dreams? I think it was the Hermit. No, it was with dreams. Yes, the High Priestess. Spider Spirit, and spiders are beautifully creative. Creative adaptability is going to be another quality that you might like to, you know, meditate upon here. And this guy here is being very creative, actually doing something with his hands, which could be another suggestion during solar eclipse. Find some craft materials and make something, even like a ball of wool and a few sticks. You can literally make a dream catcher, one of those God's eye things, you know. That can be quite meditative, doing some craft. Like this spider here. I mean, they're super crafty. That is fantastic. Make your dreams real, folks. Oh my God, that's what we're doing collectively as well. That's not good. Okay, Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. Okay, what's this guy doing? He's just waiting. Okay, now, there's different types of waiting. So you can be in feeling states like this. Now, if you're like this every single night and you're waiting for something or whatever, it might be that you need to maybe distract yourself and do something with your hands, do something creative, and also maybe just, this is more like it's a non-moving energy, okay, but it's more focused on soul work, so looking into something spiritual, because we might be waiting on something in our lives, but we can usually always take action in some way, shape or form, because in a different area of life, whether it be emotional, creative, spiritual, physical, intellectual, you know, we can always learn about something else. Even if we don't have the means to actually go and do it, we can learn and open our minds and our consciousness. So it's almost a case of like, if you're in that eclipse energy and you feel like you're waiting it out, doing something constructive, creative with your hands might be great, just to take your mind off if you're feeling a bit, you know, worried about it. Okay, let's let's generate some dragon support energy now. We love these dragon energies coming in for us at this time. We're going to grab a couple of dragons. Thank you, dragon energies. They're with us for 2012 to 2032, I believe. They're around hanging, well, they're very much in our atmosphere for the next 20 years. These are the celestial high frequency dragon energies. Okay. Right, so you know, you can tap into a spider spirit or seahorse spirit or meditate on those animals for qualities, or you might also welcome to, and can you believe it, the rose pink dragon again. Wow. Prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. So those high frequencies of the solar eclipse are really, you know, what's coming into me right now is that everyone's receiving a heart chakra upgrade, because this keeps coming up. And I think this is what it's saying, the cosmic heart. Wow, so it's unconditional love too. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Diamond light, warm-hearted love. So that's a little bit like, you know, you can go to the shops. You might strike up conversations a little more frequently than you used to. Like maybe, you know, it could even be that, you know, perhaps 10 years ago people went to the shops and they didn't really say anything to each other. But now, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed it, I have, and that is that people tend to be a little bit more open to just spontaneous conversation. And that can really just also be a heartfelt resonance with another human being, you know, without judgment. It's just in the moment, we're just going to have a quick chat and a laugh about something in the shop or something, some situation that, you know, just bringing some fun and spontaneity into life. And that's about, you know, that's one example of, you know, how our heart chakras can be upgraded. So we're a little more open to, if someone wants to strike up a conversation, maybe we're a little more open to that. And here we have a beautiful grounded earth and air dragon. Air signs. This is beautiful, isn't it? Because we have your element here, but we also have the earth. So that groundedness, remember I mentioned doing something with your hands, that can be super grounding. So if you feel like you're flying away in the head or you're coming out of your body during this eclipse time, connecting with the earth and doing something grounding with your hands could be good. It represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Okay. Stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. So that's about grounding your visions. Now, we could have like lots and lots of super ideas here, and that's great because it's got to start somewhere. But then we also need to bring it back into, well, you don't have to, but if you choose, of course, you can then bring it down into form or into manifestation, into expression, maybe through some art or craft is an example of that, but there are many other examples of even the spoken word, even through music. It might be that you like to do some writing or put something out online on YouTube or on or write your own ebook or I don't know. There's like hundreds and thousands of things you could do. Or be part of a group and actually verbalize your ideas, share that with family, friends, whatever. Earth and Air Dragon. I really love that. Look at that. That's gorgeous. He's grounded there too. And I mean, if you feel like, like I said, flying away, if you're coming out of your body, go out and step on the earth with bare feet. Could be a great thing to do. Let's just grab now a Galactic Heritage card. And okay, so just taking the deck here, grabbing one off the top, and it's going to be Orion again for a minute. Pleiades, seeking karmic balance. Wow. Okay, that's cool. So this could be a reading about balancing body and mind, I'm feeling, because we've had the swords images here. One is like, less emotional. This one could be, a lot of thoughts going around, but we're needing to seek some balance with that. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab the page and then I will hold it up again. 61, 63, okay. As a 4th to 5th density species in this era, Pleiadians are now experiencing a higher spiritual awakening. They recognize their past imbalances and have gained a sincere intention to balance karma by recognizing that all things happen for a reason and learning from their own choices. This card encourages you to do the same. A Pleiadian guide is most likely assisting you with this. Take an honest look at your repeating challenges and know that karma is at work. These obstacles are gifts to help you move to the next level of your growth. Embrace them and open to the lessons they are teaching you. Okay, so the challenges, could be bringing you into a state like that. But it's about, embracing the challenge and accepting it, that it's a part of karma, it's a part of something that needs to be processed through you. Is one way of looking at it. It's something that your soul is needing to process. So it's about balancing. So all things happen for a reason. And so seeking karmic balance. So and that could be something that during the solar eclipse time you might like to just do some meditation on, do some journaling around any obstacles or gifts, any obstacles that you feel you are experiencing at this time, because when they are put there to help us grow and to move forward and to move into the next level of our growth. And be open to what those challenges or lessons that they have for us, or what lessons they have for you, what those challenges present or represent for you. It might be that it's perhaps a very deep ingrained pattern of behaviour or a way of thinking or feeling that you have that's become habitual. But through this, time out, it is possible to cultivate more awareness around that as well. And and don't forget, we're all going through an awakening. So we are receiving these upgrades. I'm going to say whether we like it or not, we're receiving the upgrades. And that's what you do with those upgrades and how you receive them and what your consciousness is, how your consciousness processes them. That is going to, I guess in some ways it determines how much your consciousness expands and how much spiritual growth you can actually move through and into whilst being in a state of happiness and fulfillment, okay, rather than angst, frustration, you know, like confusion, because that, I think I might not be, it's not 100% all the time, but I would like to say that, you know, I tend to think anyway that if usually some people that have some sort of spiritual perspective, or they have some skills and tools about how to help their soul to transcend obstacles, sometimes does help them to cope with obstacles, and also helps them to work through the obstacles because they feel more empowered during that process. So you know, I strongly suggest just trying to get your consciousness or your mind to acknowledge that you are capable of spiritual evolution, to evolve spiritually, okay, and that this eclipse time is certainly going to be moving our consciousness and our awareness in that general direction, if it hasn't already happened for you, okay. So that brings us to the end of the air signs reading. Thank you, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini. I hope some of that was relevant, and of course, you know, take what resonates and discard the rest. And yes, I look forward to the next reading. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day and a great week.